Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM22. It's Journeyman. We're on episode 28. Knowing that I'm in a bit of a time crunch, and I'm sure you already know that that has been the case frequently, and you've also noticed that I've missed numerous episodes in this series, and while I was on the verge of that happening again, came up with a plan for this episode to get something. My FM series, both Journeyman and Youth Factory, they take the most time, by far, of any of my series to try to produce episodes. The reason being is I can spend 6 hours playing to get enough video footage for one episode. Then the editing can take a bit of time as well before finally ultimately getting the video put together and uploaded for viewing on YouTube. The reason being is the game itself, to cover months and months within the game, can be hours of gameplay. And I just don't have that kind of time right now for this. We're going to get a little different look into this episode as I play a much shorter period of time and kind of give you a little behind the scenes on how I go about playing, how I go about this series in particular, because, well, time constraints. Now, what I've been up to here is every handful of days, I'm jumping into this job center and looking at all the head coach positions and applying. I apply to literally everything outside of the league that I exist in, all the loaded leagues that I have. So I'm not going to apply to League 2 in Indonesia. I have already applied to Colorado, Seattle, and Montreal and been turned down on all three, not making their short list of candidates. It's November, their season just came to an end, so we have turnover right now in MLS. They've already recently hired 1 or 2 positions. Here's 3 more. I'm just too far down the pecking order in terms of reputation to be in the running for those, but we keep trying anyway. I have a much better chance of getting into the expansion, as in Tier 2 in Mexico. Definitely not the top team, even though Necaxa is like right at the bottom, just above relegation in the first division for Mexico. I still don't stand much of a chance. These, much better chance, and I really hope that would be a fantastic get to get a second division in Mexico job. Chile, Colombia, I don't expect anything with those, but I'm trying. I am trying, but I check that every few days. Then I get into my calendar, and then we keep getting into matches, and I'm not playing every match. Far from it, especially this season. We did the Asian Cup. The league, gosh, if I played more than maybe 1 match this season. So no, when I get to the point where I'm on the calendar and it is game day, this is where I'm doing a little quick sim. Couple days, a few days, and pushing beyond this point. Otherwise, it's job center. So I've got to do what I got to do. Now, I have 2 games in 3 days. Hopefully we can get, well, hopefully 6 points, but I would want at least 4 based on the 2 teams we're going up against. So I'm going to go on vacation for just a few days here. Recently, I've been having to click use current team selection when possible because my assistant manager just does not pick the players that I have selected for the life of it, even when they're rested. So I'm trying to force his hand a little bit, but with 4 games in a 2-week span, I'm going to have to unselect it for the next bit. I know that that's going to be a case. It's just too many games. But 2, we can make that happen. Then we'll unselect it for the next couple, which is another couple of games over a 4-day stretch. We got the first win. This is what I'm then doing is I'm going through my feed and kind of making things happen. A lot of this I do as quickly as I can, but one thing that I'm always active on is trying to offer praise or criticism with these guys to get that morale going, to get that team going, and to get the bonus for me actively talking to players. And this is one of the easy ways to do it. Last week I already did this for Setho, so I try to go kind of every other on the cycle. He's been the best player in terms of training, leaps and bounds better than anybody else, so he's always up there. If you offer praise too often, they're going to eventually reject. But Ali was not the one that I praised recently or criticized recently, so we'll take that over. I do not criticize when they're at 6.0 and above, but when they're under that, I like to criticize often. Masirin, though, often reacts negatively. So does Ali, but I have not talked to him in a while. Quinones is somebody who can handle it at least a little bit, and I'm not interested in a team leader meeting over Saimima wanting to leave on a loan. I need Saimima. I don't want to send him out. He is a valuable member of this team. I do pay attention to injury stuff as we go through, as that impacts things, and we get a win in both of the games. Very tight contest, but a single goal in it in both. Actually has moved us, it looks like, back up into 4th place from 5th. Yes, the gap behind down to 6th was significant. The gap ahead, was a bit tight. At the moment, with those 2 matches played, though, Bali United have a game in hand, so is Tira Persikabo. So we're not looking good there. 18 wins, 10 losses. Remember, we've had this crazy busy schedule this year, and it has not been as favorable, and especially with the assistant manager managing so many of these games, we just have not been as good. Only 2 points out of a top 3 spot, though, to get back into that Asian Cup. Even if we don't actually, if we're not around next season, getting into that top 3 position, getting that qualification should be good for our reputation. Okay, now I've gone forward a few days, right, with the quick sim through there, that little mini vacation. So it's time to check in again, and there is at least one new position. And just right click and apply for job. I don't even care. I am so over this team that we are on right now, that we are with right now. It's a nightmare that we cannot get anything happening, even though we continue to build a reputation. League 2s, MLS, Belgium under 19s. Do we want to go that kind of direction? Is that even something I could apply? Why not? Why not? Let's apply. I don't think I have the kind of reputation for a national team gig at this stage, but, you know, get your hat in the ring. Odd thing for me is, whew, that was fast. I was taking upon consideration the fact that you aren't thought to be the best person for this particular job. I can see that. See, there you go. Necaxa, they've already pushed us out. Despite opting against shortlisting you due to the strength of the other candidates, they would like to place on record that I'm an acceptable fit. I get this so much. I'm not good enough, but I'm almost good enough. They could see how I could be good enough. And that is what gives me hope that somewhere, somehow, there will be something. Looking in at the profile, check it in. We're on 25%. It is going up. It has gone somewhere. Other than loyalty to players, I have a good reputation with those characteristics. But this is just coming along, I think, a bit too slow. And I really wish the adaptability. I don't see how this doesn't grow. I don't understand why it's not growing. I am an American managing overseas in Indonesia. I have learned the culture. I have learned the nature. I have the scouting knowledge 100% locally. I've been managing in a foreign nation for, is this 4 years? 4 years now? I believe that's the case. Maybe 3. Whatever the case may be. 2024, right? November. I've been in the job for almost 4 whole years. I think. And yet, my adaptability that started at a 6 is still a 6. My determination, just a 7. It's all like not climbing. I think my player knowledge and youngster knowledge both went +1 recently. Outside of that, I see no change on the mental side. And I'm not sure I see a change on the coaching side, though I think one of those 6s was a 5. One of these 3, I believe, was a 5, and maybe attacking was a 5. So tiny climbs. But I'm not coaching the fitness. I'm not coaching the goalkeepers. I can understand why those aren't changing. Working with youngsters hurts a little bit, but I don't have too many young players at this level. I'm not a good coach in terms of the attributes, so I get why we're not getting a big-time job. But it would be nice to climb one step up the ladder. Okay, now that I've checked the market, I'm going to drive forward 3 days till we get to the next game. Just continue, and do what I got to do. Playing as quickly as I can. This is how I navigate it. And this is why it takes so long, because it's one thing after another. I'm not going to talk to the media about Saimima, who's trying to force his way out, which, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see that. There you go. That's my Youth Factory view. I don't know why it always opts for that. I don't know why when you load one save over another, it wants to give you the view that you use in the other save. It should be saved to the one that I have here. It should be relevant to the one that I have here. But anyway, this is how the team looks from this view. I quickly averted my eyes. You might not have, but I did not look. Anyway, Cunonez, Brown, Zulfiandi at the top, Setho at the top. That's still my group. And I've very, very condensed this squad. I mean, you know, there is some quality up here, and then the drop-off is really just in Lestaluhu, Pelu, Mofu, who's out on loan, and Ali. That, in its entirely, especially Pelu, that's my 3 wingbacks that are backups. We at least have Febrianto, who is tolerable, Walidane, who is decent, and then my backups. And they're the only ones in the first team that really just lack the quality. Of course, in the dev center, you know, there's all sorts of things going there. I don't want to drop into that screen at the moment either without having to try to avert my eyes. It looks like Kernia is improving. Sushian is improving, but there are things. What do I need to respond to? These, I used to go to every single meeting, but lately I know what the team's about. They're not telling me anything new. Zulfiandi, minor injury. Not good with a match coming up. Not good with 2 matches coming up, actually. I don't know what the problem is. Saimima plays probably 2 out of 4 matches, 3 out of 4 matches, off the bench, mostly, occasionally starting, but he plays a lot. Wow. Okay. We're sitting on 55. Our record is 64. We finished 62nd with 64 points. That's 9. And how many matches do we have left? 34. 5 matches left. 9 points, 5 matches. At our rate, that's certainly possible. But 64, you see that that's not going to get you second place this season. It's the other teams around us that seem to be doing better. It's not that we are necessarily doing worse. Looks like we could be kind of right on path. He's doing okay. He's interested in extending. Let's go ahead and offer that. That keeps happening to me. The players are interested. I push that out there, and then they don't extend. Sagang makes team of the week. Febrianto injured, not at a good time, right as we're about to have this match. Multiple injuries in the 2 days leading up to it, after a busy week that we just had. All right, we are coming up on that next match. We're almost there. You see my staff is definitely not looking great, but they are what they are. Seattle's already turned us down. Pumas has not, so we'll apply there. Necaxa has, and those are League 2. And this ultimately is what I'm going through. This is the nature of it. We are picking and choosing where we can go in, and we're about to have this next match. I'm going to go ahead and push forward a handful of days again, and then we will check the news, see how we did in those couple of games, go through and see what jobs are available. And I just keep repeating this cycle again and again, and doing kind of the bare minimum with the team at the moment. No wonder I can't get a job. I'm not necessarily trying my absolute hardest with these guys. I've got one foot out the door for sure. If they knew I was applying to 80 jobs a season, I could see why they would not offer. Coming down the stretch here, it was what was left. We had a draw in that one, goalless. Bali, we play each other at the end of the season. That could be important. But at the moment, I have 3 to play and everybody else has 5. That's a pretty big concern. We have pulled ahead of Bali. We do get to play Bali. And we do have 2 easier matches in PSPS and Bayang or whatever. And 2 of 3 are at home. And only 2 at home for Bali United. I think that's our best shot. It looks like Arema, Tira Persekabo are going to be too far ahead. Neither one of them has a terribly hard schedule down the stretch, though all 3 of those teams have 3 road games and just 2 home games left, where we have 2 home games and 1 road left, and definitely 2 easier ones, and an important head-to-head with Bali to wrap up the season, and that is something I'd like to get to here quite soon, actually. Another unsuccessful job. Strength of other candidates, acceptable fit. I get that message a lot. A whole lot. Saimima, there you go. Out. He's going to miss. Okay, back to praising Setho. Cristanto now, the one who is struggling. It's below a 6. I have not criticized him anytime recently, and that helps his morale. Most of the time they react well, so that's good. 2-1 win on the road is important for this title hunt. That's what pushed us up to that 59 points, pulled us away. Remember, we were just 5th place at the start of the episode. But big losses this month. Not the kind of money we got before because, you know, we're not in that Asian Cup anymore. And the balance is down to 88K. At that rate, we'll be in the negative again next month. I like where we're sitting. I don't like where we're at in that in the remaining games, though. Games to be played is a very, very short list. We might need to play all 3 realistically to see out the season, but that's not going to be the case. Seguin, 3rd best player of the month. Nasirin now at the bottom, but I criticized him a few weeks ago. I am not going to criticize him again here this close together. Okay, this is an important match. If Purcell lose, that could just about rule them out. They have won, though. They have won. They stay in contention, just 2 points adrift of us with 3 to play. Okay, we did push forward a few days. I need to check again. These are our expiring contracts. I would keep a Harela around, but he is whiny. So whiny. Triana is the one that I would like to keep, but he has 0 interest in re-signing, and we're going to be letting those 4 go, including Ali. I've already offered a contract to multiple staff members. We have under 21s, under 18s, head of sports science. Muktai, just a 6. Just a 6. I'm going to wait till the end of the season to bother with that, though. We're almost there, but we'll wait till vid. We'll let those handful of players go and try to find better in the market if we're still around managing this team. And at this point, that kind of looks to be the case. All right, jump in, job center. Goalkeeping coaching is definitely our biggest weakness, but we're at least above average and best in a few areas. I just have no money to play with and haven't been able to afford the better coaches. Okay, it looks like we have a couple options that we have not applied to. No, maybe we have already applied to that one. Well, there you go. Santosa just re-signed. Oh, he was with the U18 squad anyway. It means I have nothing on the senior squad that I need to worry about in those regards. Next match is a must-win if we're going to have a realistic chance of finishing in the top 3. Another job, unsuccessful. Again, serious reservations about my suitability to deliver their vision. Complete lack of experience in winning silverware. That 2nd place and a second place. We've had 3 second places, by the way. Opening season, Division 2. We took first in the regular part of our league experience, but we got to the final and lost in the promotion playoffs. So we took second, technically. Then, a year ago, we took second in the league. Then this year, we took second in the Asian Cup. We've gotten to 2 finals and lost both, and we've taken second in the table in the league. We took first in that one table, but it wasn't counted as a victory. Cunonez on player of the week. Team of the week, that is. Eunice has left his agent. Oh, this is 17-year-old left back Eunice. What's his contract like? Oh, that's the agent. No. Where's Sasunko? Contract for a couple years. He is 18. Maybe it's a good time to offer a new contract. 3.8K. Let's see what he's on. Future prospects sounds good. That is a bit of an increase, but maybe we can come down a little bit. There's no agent fee. This is why I'm thinking about doing this right now. 3 years. He didn't have enough potential. We've got him for 2 years. Ooh, okay. Well, there's something new, something different. We've had all of these excellent intakes, and all of a sudden we are predicting a terrible intake this year. Center backs, center mids, wingers, and maybe a goalkeeper is about all we can count on. So is that? They've already turned us down, right? Yes. Nothing new. It'd be really nice if you had some sort of text highlighting that would color code ones that you were turned down from versus ones you haven't applied to. You know, like you have loanees that are in purple. Something to distinguish the players from one another. Okay, this is a huge matchup. Arema, PSM, if we're going to have any chance, we need... Oh gosh, and then Purcell and Bali United are playing each other. If they draw, that might be the best outcome for us under these circumstances. It puts both of them into a lose 2 points scenario. It's better than one of them coming away with 3 points and one losing, ultimately, unless that one turns around. If Purcell beats Bali United in a way, that's a good thing. That would be the better outcome than Bali winning, for sure. But I think a draw might be the best. PSM beating Arema would be great. They're far enough down. They're not a threat. They only have 3 to play. 9 points on that at 54. Not going to reach us. Ouch and ouch. The worst case has happened in both. Worst case scenario. So Arema, with 4 to play, are 9 clear. We can only match. We're not going to get a plus 28 goal differential. We can rule out the league. Mathematically, we have the tiniest chance still. But they have 4 matches to play. They're going to score a point. And we are not going to go plus 28. Theoretically, if they lose all 4 by a goal, then that's 30 plus 35 that they're sitting on. Still, we're not going to go plus 24 in 3 matches. Zulfiandi away with the national team for an important the AFC Championship. So we're without a key player there. Saimima's going to get his chances. He's going to get his chances, but this is going to hurt our chances a little bit. We're only missing 1 player, though. That could help us. Though we just saw 2 contenders continue to win anyway, despite whatever players they may have been missing. We're going to get through 1 more. This one we're not going to continue to push because it's only 1 game. There's nothing close. We have What, a week to go? Another unsuccessful job. Ali is the low man again, but that's too close together, so no more complaints right now. It's only been a couple days, but let's double check for anything new, like... Ooh, no, we were already turned down on that one, and that, and that. Okay, nothing new. Again with Saimima, they're unhappy, but it's only a couple players that are unhappy. I don't need to have a full team meeting over a couple players. 5 points necessary in the last 3 games. I've stopped doing here this season anyway. I've stopped having the press conferences. The pressers are just not that important right now. Just trying to get through the season. All right, we have about a day to go, I think, until that next match. Yeah, let's go ahead and push forward 2 days. See what happens in that one, and we'll have 2 left. Must win. 15th place at home with a chance at promotion on the line. Not promotion, another place in the Asian Cup. You have to win that to have any chance. So how did we do? 2-0. Okay. 2-0. Very important. Back ahead of Bali United at the moment, but only by a point. Only a point behind Tira Persicobo, but we've played 2 matches more. 2 matches more than those guys. That's the worrying thing. Now we're back to 5 clear of Persella, though. And they only have 2 to play. So they can only score 6. You could just about count us ahead of Persella. I would be fine with 3rd, because the 3rd is Asian Cup. On paper, at least. I don't know what's going on here. This could impact things. Where are we at on stage? The final already. Persella won it. Persella has won the final. Yeah, that's not good. That means they get the automatic spot. So Persella is here. And, oh gosh, what's the rules? What did they get? AFC Champions League 2nd preliminary round. So actually, we could be looking at a situation where you have to be in the top 2. Depending on winner of Indonesia. Yeah. So that means we have a problem on our hands. It's going to take a 2nd place finish to get the cup group stage. Because here's what happened a year ago. The 3rd place team. That's what it was. We took 2nd, but the team that finished 3rd a year ago, which was Arema, won. Or Bali United. It was Bali United. Okay. The winner, Tira Persicobo. They got Champions League. We took 2nd. In 3rd was Bali United. Bali United won the Indonesian Cup. Bali United got that AFC Champions League 2nd preliminary round qualification by winning the cup. And we got the AFC Cup group stage by finishing 3rd. Here, because of what has happened, what has transpired, because of who won, they are going to get that AFC Champions League 2nd preliminary round qualification. Persella is. They've already won it. So Persella has that, which means now you got to finish 2nd, not just 3rd, to get that cup spot. So we would have to finish where we finished a year ago. Now, we finished with 64 points a year ago. We have 2 matches to play, and I have every opportunity to finish higher than I finished in terms of points haul. We have 1 easy match, and we have Bali United. You win both, we're sitting on 68. We win both, and maybe we finish ahead of Bali United. And maybe we don't. Maybe we finish ahead of Tira Persicobo. Maybe we don't. We still have a shot. We're going to definitely play those last 2 matches. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode here up with 2 matches left to go in the season. I know this was not a normal episode. I know I didn't really progress that far, but we have something to play for here in the last 2 matches. We've at least cleared that up. We know what's going on, but we also know now that it's going to require a second consecutive second place finish, but it's going to require more points than it was. I think our only chance is by claiming all 6 points, and that still guarantees nothing. That guarantees a 4th place finish, does not guarantee better than that. Beating Bali United does not guarantee finishing ahead of them. They still have 3 other matches to play besides us versus them. They could still score 9 points. They can still finish on 70, while on max we can only finish 68, even beating them. Plus Tira Persicobo could still score 12 points. They could finish on 75. Plus 6, Arema, count them out. They're already out of reach. They're going to probably win the league, but Tira Persicobo could still do that, could still take that away from them. Whew, okay. Improvement where league position would decline. I mean, I could handle that. It's a step in the right direction. Let's say we win the next one and lose to Bali. 65 points. It's still 1 point better than a year ago. So we haven't done poorly. It's just the top end itself has been more competitive. That's going to do it for this episode, though. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. I know we didn't get much action here. I know I also went off on a longer tangent than I expected at the beginning to explain what I was going to do. Maybe I'll edit a little of that out because I will have to edit some of this. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.